What's going on, and welcome into your casual gaming news conversation for January 30th. I'm one of your hosts for the evening, Nikki Two Shoes, Nikki Ops, and alongside me, we got the man who's a little bit less bald than he used to be, Connor Evans. Connor, how's it going, dude?
It's going good. It's growing in nicely. It's very annoying to deal with. I'm not going to lie. I thought that cutting all my hair off would make it less maintenance.
Yep.
But now I have really bad hat hair all the time, and I wear a beanie every day. Yeah. So it's a problem.
Is your head cold? Like, is it like frigid because you're in the warehouse and everything, or is it like starting to grow in enough where it's not freezing all the time?
It's never been much of a cold issue when it comes to just cutting my hair off and that being more cold. But I'm just a cold person in general, so I always wear a hat anyways.
Yeah, and also right now it is frigid here in Cincinnati. We're talking negative degrees.
It's going to be
times.
-3 tomorrow. The coldest day so far.
I can't handle it anymore. I woke up this morning at the butt crack of dawn and everything, and I had to defrost my car. You know, so I used the scraper, turned the car on, used the defrosting for the windshield. It took like 20 minutes to defrost. I get on the road. I still have the defrost on. It frozen. It refroze while I was driving. I had to pull over before we got on the highway and hit it one more time. But it was crazy. Like, it is that level of cold here in Cincinnati. Connor, happy Noah Khan Day to you, by the way.
It's a new album or something?
First Noah Khan single that is not Stick Season related in I don't know how long. This man milked this album more than I've ever seen any major artist in my entire life. Like, sure, artists re-release albums all the time, but we got Stick Season. Then we got Stick Season extended with like 5 more songs. Then we got Stick Season and Friends, where he did this at like Hozier and a bunch of other major artists go and add on to the album and like do different versions of some of the songs. And it's like, thank goodness we're finally getting new music. He released a single.
Happy for the Noah Khan fans. You know how I feel about Noah Khan.
Connor, guess what? The song? It's good.
It's good.
It's just good.
The new Arctic Monkeys song? I have not listened to it
yet. I sent that over to you guys.
Yeah.
Dude, it's great. It is the exact... This is exactly what they should do. They should take their mature sound. Like, you know me, big fan of the Last Shadow Puppets, the Sweet Dream Tennessee and everything. That like more epic sound that is still like the way that the current Arctic Monkeys are with the lower production, less heavy guitars, not AM, everything past the AM, right? Mm-hmm. But they're finding this way to like merge the pre-AM and the post-AM, and that's the song that we have right now.
Stuff.
And it's really good.
I would say a good example of that is 4 out of 5.
Yep.
I think that merges the old and the new pretty well.
Really
that
well.
album, though, you know, that's my favorite. Tranquility Base.
That's your favorite?
Yeah.
You know what mine is, right?
Their first one.
Yeah, the first record is an all-timer for me. Basically a no-skip album. Not a masterpiece album, but a no-skip album.
Speaking of music, I just want to say this now on the podcast, put on the record. I'm in for Friday for Bonner Buddy. Let's go.
You're in?
Let's do it.
We're doing it? Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I want to see Geese really badly.
Yeah.
And I'm really into Wednesday as well now. So then the Strokes.
So second favorite band of all time. I'm very excited about that. I've been watching a lot of like 2006, 2007 sets of the Strokes recently, which is just like, it's insane to go and see those sets because it's exactly what you love about 2010's indie music. It's the first 2 albums from a lot of these 2010s bands that you're just like, there's just no skips on this concert. Like, all of it's amazing. And that's the case when you have the Strokes playing songs off their first 3 records, where it's like the set list is as tight as humanly possible.
Even for their lesser albums, like a lot of people would say Come Down Machine is one of the worst. I think you can pull a few tracks that are total crowd pleasers on that album that you can just slide to the set list real nicely.
Dude, Welcome to Japan, if I see that track live, I'm going to be an issue, man. Like, that is a all-time track for me. That was one that you played enough, when you were still in high school and I was in middle school and stuff, that like I was like, okay, like the Strokes are a pretty cool band outside of Reptilia. It's really interesting, my Strokes timeline. I think the last record I listened to outside of the new Abnormal was Is This It? I think I listened to Room on Fire first because of Reptilia, and then I went in order after that. And I was like, let me check out this little album called Is This It? It's like a masterpiece album All-timer. To be like just one of the best rock albums of all time. Also, we're not going to go all in on football during this episode because, you know, next week's Super Bowl and all that. Go Pats, though. Patriots are in the Super Bowl, baby.
Go Pats being disrespected right now. Everybody's saying we're going to get absolutely blown out like we're some terrible team. We hung with really great teams this season.
We blew out the bad teams, and then we either beat the good teams or the only game that we lost to a good team was the Bills, and we only lost by 4 points. We lost in epic fashion.
Yeah.
We lost by 4 points. Who gives a shit? Guess who's in the Super Bowl? not Josh Allen. That's all that matters.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I actually
Shout
really
out
like
to Josh Allen.
I like
I
him.
love
Yeah.
Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Even as a Patriots fan, who they should be our mortal enemy, I
Yep.
still find room to love Josh
Yeah,
Allen.
he seems like a good guy. It's really heartbreaking to see.
Funny
Yeah, he's a funny guy. It's heartbreaking to see just them lose over and over and over again, getting close to climbing and summiting the mountain.
It's tough to see as a Patriots fan.
Yeah,
surpass them like that.
The funniest part is the narrative of the Patriots has been really interesting, where we've gone from like, hey, like this is a fun little underdog story. Drake May's a lot of fun. And then right around December, right when, got a little bit colder, Bakemas was in full effect. I think the people realized, they're like, oh no,
fuck, they're gonna do it again.
This team might be good enough. Like they, okay, but they don't have the 1 seed. So they don't have the 1 seed, and they got a Harbaugh and Herbert led team coming in. Maybe they lose that one, and then it was like, oh no.
I also think people are putting disrespect on the Texans as well. Like I know that Stroud shit the bed, but if he was decent in that game, half decent, they have the defense to back it up. They could have easily taken us out, and that's a good football team. We just made him look really, really bad.
The defense has been spectacular, and so it's going to be a lot of fun. I am thankful that as of right now, it's best be best. There's no major injuries on either side, so hopefully it's going to be a good Super Bowl. For me, if I'm being honest, I would give the Patriots like a 45% chance of winning. Like I don't think that I predict us to lose, but boy, oh boy, if we win that game,
we're gonna be insufferable. And real fast, last bit on the playoffs, Broncos. I think you slot Bo Nix back into that game instead of Jarrett Stidham, and it still is a defensive slugfest.
Yep.
And by the end, we're in the exact same situation. Blizzard rolls in, and it's just who can not fuck up at the buzzer. Like,
and by the way, I don't think that Bo Nix would be able to move the ball in that blizzard either. And I also think that
he throws a pick there. I feel semi-confident that in a blizzard, in that situation, there's a good chance, a decent chance that Bo Nix could throw a pick.
Yeah, 100%.
In the same way Stidham did.
Yeah, it's been very interesting. Also, everyone's disrespecting. Played 3 top 5 defenses on the way to the Super Bowl. Never been done before. Which one's
they're about to play another top 5 defense, right?
I think they're number 6.
Okay.
There might be 6, or there might be 2. One of those 2. I know we went 1-3-5 on the stretch to the Super Bowl. So yeah, it's just been a lot of fun. Go Patriots! It's going to be a ton of fun. When we are shooting CGC next week, that's where you guys are going to have the amazing time capsule of us just getting really excited. And then it's going to come out on Wednesday for everyone else. And you might see 2 very depressed people on stream, or 2 very happy people on Wednesday.
I can't even be mad, honestly. If we lose in the Super Bowl this year, it's like we shouldn't even be here.
We've won more Super Bowls in our lifetime than the way I've always seen it is there's 32 teams in the NFL.
Yeah.
If you live to 96 years old, you should win 3 Super Bowls in your lifetime. I've got 6, dude. We got 6. We're fine. Like we are well over the average. Imagine being a Titans fan. Housekeeping for you. Patreon.com/Cope64. You can get this show 3 days early. You can get the casual gaming conversation 3 days early, and a bonus episode of the casual gaming conversation each and every week. We just predicted the entire Nintendo Switch 2 life cycle. A great podcast. Ridiculous. A lot of fun. I'm already wrong due to Tomodachi life and the information we have during story number 2. Yeah. Oh, you said...
I said March.
March, yes. Which was the leak date, which wasn't true. Very interesting. So great episode there. You also got a backlog of 50 plus hours of content at least over there at that $5 tier. At the $10 tier, you can get Recollecting Retro and the Co-op 64 podcast, or conversational podcast, 1 episode each a month. And then at the highest tier, also you can write into this show. We got some fun write-ins for today. Thank you so much for writing into this show and CGC. It's been a blast recently. Thank you so much for writing in. At the highest tier, you can get your name read at the end of each and every podcast we do here at Co-op 64, and have a chance to be the 4th topic on the Co-op 64 podcast. Twitch streams. Currently no bonus stream this upcoming weekend. As of right now, by the time this posts, we will be playing Rock Band. Shout out for showing up for Rock Band. It's gonna be a lot of fun tonight. You're not gonna want to miss it. And if you just want to stay up to date with what we're doing streaming wise over on Patreon, if you just go and click the free membership, we post our schedule over there. Join the Discord, we post the schedule over there, so you can stay up to date with everything that's happening on Co-op 64, at Co-op 64, everything we're doing here. But for this upcoming week, Monday, the plan is more High Guard. We had a blast on Monday, and we want to play more of it. So High Guard on Monday, Tuesday and Thursday, me continuing on with Chrono Trigger. Oh my gosh, this video game, Connor, is really good.
It's going longer than I thought it was going to.
Yeah, I thought so. It says 25 to 30 hours on how long to beat. And I think I'm over 20 plus hours already on streaming, and I'm like 60% of the way through. So I think it's gonna take me 40 hours. There's apparently a lot of like side content towards the end game, and I think that what I'm gonna do there is on a Saturday or a Sunday, just do all the side content on a bonus stream, and then go back to Tuesday, Thursday playing some of the other stuff.
That's smart.
Because here's the thing, Connor. Little announcement for you. I like this game enough to do the side content. That's how good this game is.
FF6 is structured similarly, where you get to the end and you just have a ton of stuff that you can do.
On Tuesdays and Thursdays, Chrono Trigger is happening. It's been a lot of fun. Wednesdays, Connor Souls continues. It's been a blast watching that man die over and over again. Connor's really bad at video games. He's also really old. Discord, join the Discord. It's linked in the description down below. We got an amazing community talking about video games. Shout out to Community Night. It was a super fun time playing Super Smash Bros. Ultimate with you and the community. You survived longer than I did, but also I lost to the champ. So I can't be upset about that at all. The only thing that he took away, Connor, was me versus Matt. We had an opportunity at me versus Matt. Everyone wanted to see it. Get your popcorn ready. Matt would have kicked my ass. It would have sucked. But you can participate in Community Night. You can participate in a bunch of things that's happening in the Discord consistently, whether it's conversations or movie nights or the next Community Night that we do. We currently do not have a game or a date, but we will send that out when we do have it in there. Merch, co-op64store.com. You can get hoodies, t-shirts, and mugs. Review us over on Apple Podcasts and hop into the comment section down below if we mess something up on this podcast so we can set the record straight on the next episode. Alrighty, what a disappointing headline. Connor, I already see you being fuming at this news. I'm just kidding. It's actually kind of fun still. Headline: Nintendo Direct coming next week. It is claimed. This is Mike Straw at Insider Gaming. Quote: in his latest video on Monday, known insider Nate the Hate spoke about when Nintendo fans should expect the first full Nintendo Direct showcase. Nate the Hate has reported that the Direct will be a partner Direct, meaning it's focused on third-party titles. Quote: from what I've been told, the first Direct of 2026 will be held during the opening week of February, end quote, he said. He then said the expectation is that the show will take place on Thursday, February 5th. End quote. Connor. Initially, this was going to be big boy Nintendo Direct predictions. We were very excited for the first full, massive, major Direct. It seems like it's going to be a partner showcase. Where are you at hype level for this partner showcase from Nintendo?
At first, the announcement that this was going to be a partner showcase killed the hype completely for me. I was like, oh, fuck, that's so disappointing. But as I've ruminated on it a little bit more, there's some stuff that I could get pretty excited about, namely one very important title for Nintendo Switch 2 that could be here.
An interesting one developed by the greatest developer in the world, potentially.
Yeah. I mean, like, if that's on the table, that is in line with our predictions for what Nintendo's schedule is for the first half of this year. We both have this projected for May, I believe. And if that's the case and they show it here, that times out really nicely. And if that's here, that is the biggest announcement at a partner Direct ever, maybe.
It's not only the biggest announcements at a partner Direct. I think that if you look at what they could have had this Direct be, and we'll hop into some of that here in a moment, I think it would be the headliner announcement. Because let's start there. First half of the year, Nintendo, we get this Tomodachi Life Direct. We can talk about it here in a minute, but like with that slated and dated now, we know that Yoshi's next game,
Mysterious Book.
Thank you so much. Book. I always want to say Yoshi's Story, but that's the game on the N64. SNES and one of those two. The only reason I know that is Recollecting Retro. It pops up a lot in that image for Recollecting Retro. Shout out Recollecting Retro. But that is also coming down the pipeline for the first half of this year. You have Mario Wonder getting its expansion. You have Animal Crossing getting its expansion earlier in January. Mario Tennis Fever, February. Like, there's a lot of content coming out in the first 5 to 6 months this year that, like, I hate to say it because I want a massive Nintendo Direct with a bunch of fun announcements as much as the next guy. They don't need it right now. And this goes back to my initial statement, and it's a annoying one because as somebody that loves hype more than basically anyone else on the planet, I think that the hype is not here yet. We don't need the hype.
I do think going from early December, and with Metroid Prime to your next major mainline Nintendo first-party release being Fire Emblem potentially in June or July, I think that is a bit of a problem.
Mario Tennis Fever does nothing for you.
I would not call that major.
Yoshi's The Mysterious Book.
Definitely not major.
Yeah. So here's the other part that we're not fully considering. The biggest Nintendo thing that's happening in the first half of this year is not a video game. It's the Mario movie. Like, that is a massive moment for this console. The way that they have taken the Mario IP and put a bunch of other things around it. I've seen a lot of people being like upset that they're not doing other stuff like with the Mario movie. I recently rewatched the direct that we got in September, and they do the full Mario rock block. Like, the opening of that direct is just, this is what we're doing for Mario, like, for the foreseeable future. I think that if we were going to get a Mario tease for this year, it probably would have been in there. Like, I don't think that that is going to be happening. But their biggest moment in the first half of this year when it comes to Nintendo IP, and it's not even just what's happening on the console side, even though that will move numbers, it will move units for Switches, it will get people to play Mario Wonder with Rosalina now in it and that tie in there. It will move Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 ports. Like, it will be a big moment. But the real thing is, like, you have the Mario Galaxy movie, and that's going to get people to go to Universal. That's going to get people to get the toys. That's going to get people to go and do every single other thing for Nintendo that is honestly basically bigger than the game.
I don't know if they bake that into the strategy for the Nintendo Switch 2, though.
I think that it's partially, like, we talked about these moments this year where you're going to go and have a shit ton of Switch 2s sell. Pokemon down the line, that's going to be a big moment. The Dust Bloods, that's going to be a big moment. I think that, like, they look at that day being like, yeah, we're going to sell a lot of Switch 2s with this because there's so many people that are going to go, and whether it is parents being dragged by their kids to go and they don't have a Switch in the house already, or they don't have a Switch 2 in the house already, that might be the moment. Or it is the people getting the nostalgia kick by watching it that are in their teens or early adulthood or late adulthood. They're just like, dude, I freaking love Mario. I haven't bought a Switch in a long time. Let's do it. Let me get a Switch. And honestly, like, I remember playing Mario Galaxy on the Wii. Let me get that too. And going and doing that whole thing. I think that there's some level of credence to be like, it's not just the games that are laid out this year. I don't think that it's this, like, perfect strategy thing, because what you did with your Nintendo Switch life cycle predictions was Switch 2. You're like, yeah, but, like, if they can pull it off, like, why wouldn't they, right? And I was like, they don't need it over and over again, but, like, if they could pull it off, sure, let's get more games in the first half of this year. I just don't think that they have it in line right now. And it's also, we are getting fed. It might not be getting fed with the biggest stuff, but then again, the first 6 months of the Switch 2 life cycle are the best 6 months a first party can have for any console ever, in my opinion. Like, even I look at, like, Breath of the Wild and Mario Odyssey. That was even longer than 6 months, right? That was October. Actually, no, 6 months on the dot. But yeah, I think that this is, like, such a strong 6 months. It's okay to have a couple of months without the biggest stuff ever. But we still have Mario Tennis Fever. We still have Tomodachi Life. We still have the next major Nintendo thing around the corner with Fire Emblem, and then whatever's happening in the back half of this year.
I think when you compare the first year of Nintendo Switch 1 and what we've got in Nintendo Switch 2 so far and what we see on the horizon until June, if Duskbloods is in fact not in that first year window, I think that Switch 1's first year lineup absolutely dog walks Switch 2's. Not even close. Breath of the Wild and Mario Odyssey alone. You could take every other game out of that Mario Kart 8 Deluxe in there as well. Like Splatoon 2 as well. Like, it's not even close in my opinion.
Yeah, I
do think it is a bit of a problem that the next 4 months are going to be taken up by Mario Tennis Fever, Yoshi and the Mysterious Book, and Tomodachi Life. I think that is a weak lineup for them. And the only thing that is going to make that acceptable to me is if we have the Duskbloods on the near horizon. May isn't too far away.
Yeah.
If it's July and they show it here, I think that's a problem.
I get what you're saying. I'm looking at 2018 right now, by the way, for Nintendo Switch, just seeing, like, what that next year was. Because I remember a lot of people with 2018, it wasn't this, like, massive year, but you have Smash Bros in there. So everything else becomes more acceptable. But there's some good titles in there, whether it be Super Mario Party or Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee.
Dark Souls.
Yeah, like, there's some gas within there. I'm just saying that, like, will I be picking up my Switch? Like, that's the whole thing that matters. Like, as hardcore Nintendo players, which I would quantify you and I as, even though we're not the biggest Nintendo fans ever, one of us is going to basically play every major-ish Nintendo game. Like,
yes,
Tomodachi Life is a question.
I can see you playing Mario Tennis Aces and me maybe playing Yoshi and the Mysterious Book, maybe both of us. But I think until Duskbloods comes out, I can see myself glued to my Switch 2 playing third-party games like I am right now playing Final Fantasy VII Remake and absolutely adoring it. And I hope in this partner showcase I get more that is going to draw me in, even if it's from a third-party perspective.
Which that leads me to go on the other side of this. The final answer: you think that they need a Nintendo Direct proper showcase in the next
and I think that
month or
we
two?
will get one in March.
Okay,
That's kind of how they did it at the beginning of last year too, right?
Well, last year it was January and then April major showcase. We did have the little Direct in March. You are correct. We had March and then the next week the April blowout showcase, and then we waited.
We got a partner showcase somewhere in there, correct?
I think around like summertime and everything. Like my timeline is off.
We definitely got a partner showcase after the Switch 2.
Yep, and then
I didn't know if we got one earlier in the year.
And then we got the September Direct. But really, when it came to major directs last year, in my mind, it was March, April, September, which is a cadence that they've never done before. But also, I think it makes plenty of sense because they wanted to just show a bunch of Switch 1 games in that first Direct, keep all the hype for the Switch 2 Direct, and then September comes around and it was the first proper Direct for the new console. But for it, I lean on the side that they don't need to have one.
I somewhat agree because I think that if we got a proper full Direct this week, the two games that I would want to see out of that is the Duskbloods and Fire Emblem. You have to start talking about your next people up, your next games up. And the fact that we're getting a partner showcase, which might be a bit of a letdown, and we're going to get one of those potentially, I think is acceptable.
It makes it a lot easier.
It's a much easier pill to swallow.
Because last time, partner showcases normally not that great. But this is where we bring in Master Diz. Master Diz writes in, like you can, over on patreon.com/cope64, and says, the partner direct was not the ideal news I wanted, but we have several updates we're waiting on. Duskbloods, Meet of the Hollower, The Adventures of Elliot, The Orbitals, South of Midnight, Indiana Jones, The Eternal Life of Goldman, Professor Layton, Witchbrook, Danganronpa, Elden Ring, Call of Duty, Kingdom Hearts native versions, Clair Obscur Expedition 33, Hi-Fi Rush, and Stellar Blade are all titles we are anticipating. Nate the Hate speculated a lot of ports and third party was coming on its latest podcast. With all that, it should last us until summer's main direct, or at least a one-off primary direct like we've been getting recently. End quote. Diz, I was going to go before this podcast and write out a bunch of the games that were potentially part of this.
I have even more in my head that I think
exactly
would not work on Switch 1 that can now potentially work on Switch 2.
So this is where I want to go with this. Partner directs are now cool.
Yeah.
This is the first time in a very long time that
they were pretty cool at the start of the Nintendo Switch 1 when the novelty of it was like, oh, you can get Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus running on this. That's great. You can get Doom running on this.
Yeah.
That's pretty wild.
By the way, Doom the Dark Ages should be on this list.
That feeling completely faded as we got into the PS5 generation, and those games are not running on Switch 1.
Freaking Mortal Kombat 1 is embarrassing on Switch 1. But I do think that we're in a spot right now where it's like, these ports are cool and meaningful, and not even just the ports, like Witchbrook. Let's get a date on Witchbrook. Let's have that announced over there.
The Orbitals is a shoo-in.
The Orbitals, did you see? There was a thing about it that they
basically said we're going to be at the next direct, and then they were like, we shouldn't have said that.
Whoops. And so they took the tweet down or whatever post it was. And so there's the new stuff that's legitimately exciting on the table. Mm-hmm. And by the way, if this closes with the Duskbloods,
best case scenario.
I think that I would prefer a showcase. This might sound bold, but if they put Tomodachi Life, if this was a normal direct, you had Tomodachi Life to open the direct and with the date, and they do 10 minutes on it instead of a 20-minute thing that we just got this past day, yesterday on the day of recording. They had that, and then we got a couple of updates hey, we're going to do a 5 minutes on Mario Tennis Fever, and then just because we are marketing that for the upcoming future, throw in a couple third party, show us where Elden Ring's at, show us where a couple of these other games are at, and then you close with Duskbloods and we didn't even see Fire Emblem. I'd be like, that was a solid direct, because guess what? All that matters is Duskbloods in that, as a major announcement.
Mm-hmm. I think a lot of people were hoping to see stuff that is probably going to be in the second half of the year, and I think that's foolish, honestly. Yep. We were not going to see 3D Mario at this direct.
Yeah, well, that's where I want to go back to. directs are never really that too often. Every now and then you get the, hey, here's the thing that's very far out there.
Tears of the Kingdom in 2019.
Dude, I all-time direct watching that. It was me, Matt, Scott, and our buddy Brendan. We're in my basement. And we're watching this. Matt and I are locked in. We are like staring at this TV. Like this is about to be the most hype thing ever. And Scott is literally dying on the couch, sick. Like he is like coughing, sniffling. Like we're on vacation and he's trying to like be strong. We're like, shut up, Scott. Here's the Kingdom's getting announced right now. The next Zelda is getting announced. Dude.
I was hungover in Amsterdam on my vacation, just trying to recover. And I was like, let's just go back to the Airbnb and I'm gonna watch some E3 right now.
Yeah, dude.
Stay up to date on what's happening over there. Seeing Keanu Reeves walk out during the Xbox showcase, legendary, and then of course Tears of the Kingdom.
2 Smash Bros announcements during that too. Banjo and Hero, I want to say.
Really both interesting.
Because there was a couple directs that opened with Smash and closed with Smash, but this one I remember opening with Smash, closing with Smash, and then having Tears at the end, and I was like, this is how you do a summer showcase, baby. That's what's up. But I also want to go back to the fact that February directs are normally, like, the prediction of this direct would have been Luigi's Mansion as the thing that's very far out for like potentially October, but like it would not have been.
I think it's 3D Mario.
Yeah, exactly. But it wouldn't have been there. I think that Luigi's Mansion, which is my prediction for the game that's going to help fill out the rest of this year in a larger way, you believe it's 3D Mario. I think that makes more sense at a summer direct. Because, hey, they want to go and do a 4-month marketing cycle for these games, 5-month marketing cycle. They don't want it to be this long-running thing. And that's why you touch base with games like Tomodachi Life and say, hey, this is coming out now, and we'll like have that conversation when it's a little bit more close and recent where you're going to be able to go and be like, oh, yeah, I watched that like a month ago. Let me pick that up real quick. So I think that we don't need it, but like what we have is interesting. This is going to be awesome. So Dustbloods, Connor. Dustbloods, partner direct, is it here?
I guarantee it.
The Connor, nearly bald still, guarantee.
Yeah, there you go.
That is high quality guarantee right there.
And if you want to really blow the doors off of this is my big prediction here. Red Dead Redemption 2 opens it, and you close with the Dustbloods. I think that's a really fucking stellar 1-2 punch right there. Or even if you want to take a step back, I think do GTA 5, probably a bigger game than RDR2, but RDR2 is the more impressive. Like, holy shit, how the fuck did they get this to work on this?
You want to know, a similar vein, I think impressive-wise, Red Dead is the showcase piece. Want to know what would be even bigger, though? Right. It's Call of Duty. So where are you at with Call of Duty and the Switch and this whole thing? Because they have to put it on the Switch. They legally have to put it on the Switch, by the way. For those who don't know, when Activision was purchased by Microsoft, there was a bunch of court issues for a monopoly and everything. And they were like, trust me, we'll put it on the next Nintendo console for 10 years, I believe is the deal. They have to put it on for 10 years. And now I think it's mainly just making it work and all that stuff. But I'm pretty sure that there's literally somebody like in Microsoft being like, you have to make this work.
I think we will probably see it. I cannot imagine a worse experience than playing Call of Duty handheld on the Switch 2. The sticks on the Switch 2 are terrible for precision. I'm trying to line up darts in Final Fantasy VII Remake. Impossible. You can't do it. Any precision movements, not good on those Joy-Cons. So I think we could see it, but I don't want it, honestly.
I think that's very possible. There's a potential that we could get Call of Duty. I think because if it's not now, when? Like sort of deal. I want to sort of just like go through this list that Diz has for us, and then we can pull in some more from us. But Dustbloods, I want to say this. I'm keeping my expectations low. I'm not saying that we're guaranteed to see this. By the way, we don't know what the reaction plans are going to be for this. Obviously, midweek one, I don't know if Connor and Brady are going to be able to get here, especially for a partner direct. That it's like normally.
I would like to be here for this.
Yes, normal circumstance. I would not ask you or Brady to show up for something like this. I would just be like, it's a partner direct. Who gives a crap? Do we normally get like a couple things from partner directs? Yeah, they're normally pretty decent. But like, it's not the hey, call out of work and everything to make this happen. This one, very interesting because of the Dustbloods. I'm not guaranteeing the Dustbloods. I'm not guaranteeing Jack with this, actually. I think that there's the chance that the biggest thing we get from this is an orbital state, and it's in a couple months and helps fill out the first half of this year. Because I also think that there's a chance we're both wrong on when we expect the Dust Bloods. We were, by the way, if you didn't watch the Patreon episode, you should go to Patreon and watch it. But just to go and catch you up a little bit, we expect this thing in the first 6 months this year. We expect this in Q1 or Q2, most likely Q2 for Nintendo's year to help flesh out this first 6 months. And with that being the case, it's like, this is the moment to show up. With that being said, would you be shocked at all if it doesn't show up and it's in the June showcase and then we get that game in October? I wouldn't be that shocked. Like, it's not a guarantee in my mind, but I like your confidence because it's making me more happy, and it's giving me a shot to be like, yeah, we got this.
Here's a crazy thought. What if there's a gap between Mario Tennis Fever and Tomodachi Life in March because they're going to release the Dusk Bloods in March? It's not impossible.
Connor, I'll spoil it for you. Yoshi's coming out in March.
Okay. When are they going to show Yoshi?
Separate, literally like in a week from now or 2 weeks from now.
Just a trailer?
It is going to be a trailer or direct or something small. Get it out the door a month later. I just don't think it's that massive of a deal.
Spring's a pretty long period of time.
I also think, though, maybe you want to put it like 2 weeks before, right around the Mario movie, and say, hey, Mario movie's happening.
And Yoshi's in it.
Yoshi's in it. And play the new Yoshi game. Like, I think there's a chance that they do that. Like, there's enough here where I'm not guaranteeing for 6 months, but boy, oh boy, Connor, you saying the word March gets me excited. That would be sick nasty. Meet of the Hollower, big indie presentation. The issue here is it's a partner showcase and not an indie showcase. If it was an indie thing, I feel like they would be more likely.
I guess that's fair.
But then again, I also think that they're big enough, and you know that Switch wants a indie presence on their console. That's what dominated and like pushed a lot of sales for them with the Switch 1. So I could see them wanting to run it back with Mina, but like
they got to get this out the door at some point, dude. They got to shit or get off the pod. This has been stewing for a while.
A podcast we're gonna do when it's one of the many ideas that I have for bonus pod this year, and this one I want to be a somewhat regular thing, at least like once every 6 months. When are we gonna see it next pod? Like, and we just we write out, okay, Switch Directs, State of Plays, Xbox Showcase, Game Awards, all on the whiteboard, and we just start putting games out there. And Meet a Holler for me, though, I would say probably would show up at an indie showcase or a partner showcase from Nintendo. I wouldn't be shocked if it's here at all. The Adventures of Elliot.
It's possible. We just saw that in December, right? Or when was that?
I think it was September. No. This was the partner direct that they had for where we got Octopath announced. Because right before it was, I have no idea off the top of my head.
Which was announced for December. That's what I'm thinking of.
Exactly.
It must have been September then.
But yeah, Adventures of Elliot, I think slam dunk here. We talked about it with FF7. I think Square has a good relationship at this point. Yeah. They want every game that they can get on the Switch too. Connor's just happy thinking about Final Fantasy VII right now.
Square Enix, give me native ports of Final Fantasy 13 and its sequels, and my life is yours. Please make it happen. What is going on? How do I have to pull out the PS3 to play this fucking game? That's what I want to see at this partner direct.
I very smartly, because my water is very full, was nervous that Connor's going to flip the table. I like that I went for the beverage and not the Mac. Yeah, no, I don't think that's going to happen.
It's possible, Nick.
No, it's not. That's not going to happen. You just
said they want to be on all platforms. They want to get these games out on Switch 2. This is a great title to fill out their catalog of third-party games. These games are beefy RPGs, dude.
If this gets announced at this thing, you got to skydive or something. like you got to do something crazy, bro.
Just go right through it. Then Kingdom Hearts as well.
Yeah, so we can bring the Kingdom Hearts native versions in here. I think that feels more guaranteed than anything else. Rebirth. I think Rebirth could show up here. It
feels too soon. But I would love to see it.
Rebirth, and you say fall. You because
then why show it now?
Just to roll off the hype of this, and maybe you do pre-orders, maybe you do something like alongside there. Like, how sick would that be to just give you hey, you are probably because for those who don't know, it's hard to get a copy of Final Fantasy VII Remake physical right now. These things are selling off the shelves like hotcakes. And so I would, if I'm Square, I'm like, I want to roll this and parlay this into being a major thing. Rebirth, it would be awesome on the Switch and on the go. That's where I will finally play it on hard mode.
Dude, I need it in my life real badly. How long do you think the exclusivity window for the remake is for PlayStation?
1 year.
I think that's probably accurate. So if that's the case, then I think you want to kind of pace this out nicely where Rebirth is coming to Switch 2 closer to the release of Final Fantasy VII remake,
Yep.
so then you're not waiting a super long time for it to
We need to
release
remake
on Switch 2.
next year. Like, I
Right.
firmly believe that, and it's really weird. I was listening to the Easy Allies 2020 podcast about remake today while I was driving around. I had to run a couple errands, and it's just like, I can't believe how good this series is, but also I can't believe how long it's been since the first one came out. 6 years. It's not a little time.
I don't know. The fact that they're getting 3 of these suckers out in 7 years
It's a miracle,
dude.
It's a miracle.
Who else is doing it like that?
No one.
40 hours for the first game for just kind of a brisk pace. Like 60 for the second.
How much do you think How Long to Beat says for
for remake?
for Rebirth?
60.
I'm going to
hours.
say
It took me
45.
for a basic playthrough.
40 to 50 hours. How Long to Beat?
Nobody's
48 and a half hours.
All right, that makes sense.
No one's beating this game in 40 hours.
I beat it in main plus sides. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
I beat it in around 90.
Yeah, for me, I beat in 60, I want to say,
Yeah.
which everyone knows I did not
And
play
then
everything in there.
I did hard mode, and that got me to like 180, and then it was 20 hours of just trying to fucking clean up the trophies for the platinum, and it was a blast. I'll do it again on Switch too. Just give it to me.
Same thing, Connor. Point at the camera. We'll clip it out for socials.
man.
Give it Rebirth, and his soul is yours.
I mean,
Queen's Blood on the go, Connor.
it's gonna be unreal.
Like
I'm never gonna get anything done for the rest of my life.
I'm dead serious. There's this is not even a spoiler. There's a storyline that goes with Queen's Blood. They need to find a way to extend that mother effer on the Switch version and just give me infinite Queen's Blood.
Here's a great idea. They added a roguelike mode, or like an endless roguelike mode to Inscription. The first part of Inscription is roguelike anyways, but they made it endless. Just do that for Queen's Blood. I would fucking eat that shit up.
Play till you can't play no more,
Yes.
Connor. Go till you can't go no more. So yeah, I think Rebirth is on the table. I would say it's not likely. I think the Kingdom Hearts ports and Adventures of Elliot is what we see from Square here.
If the Kingdom Hearts ports are in the first few months of this year, a couple months after this direct, that is what I'm playing in the first part of this year.
We got to have the conversation. Like, why not just get a Steam Deck? Because you seem like you'd be in at this point.
I don't really want the tinkering aspect of it. Of like, I don't. This is potentially a hot take, and I was thinking about doing this for a hot take for CGC. I don't like the customizability of PC games. Like, I don't like being able to go into the graphic settings and try to figure out like how to get this to run as optimally as possible. I want somebody else to do that for me, and that's usually what I do. I go online, I look up what are the best settings for my graphics card for this game, and then I have that windowed on one screen and go through my settings and just do it myself. Switch to getting Final Fantasy VII remake to run as well as it does is because it is a specific port of that game for this console. Whereas you look at it on Steam Deck, and I'm sure I think it runs decently well over there. But like you have to do some tinkering. You got to figure it out, and then it runs differently on a Steam Deck than a ROG Ally, than an ROG Xbox Ally, than a Lenovo Go or whatever. Like, I don't want to deal with all that. I want to put it in my system and it just to work.
Console game, baby. Can't beat it. No, I totally get it. I just I feel like that's probably a question that there's got to be a viewer listening to this being like, why wasn't Connor more in on that?
I'm somewhat interested in a Steam Deck, but a lot of the reasons that I see people talk about why they love their Steam Deck so much is emulation. I have no interest in that.
Yeah, so that is a massive thing for me too, where it's just like I have no interest in it. And the biggest things that I would want to emulate if I wanted to, which I don't really, or Nintendo games, and it's like I might as well just run it on NSO because the catalog over there at this point is ridiculous. So yeah, just continuing on with what Diz wrote in, South of Midnight, Indiana Jones. I'll even toss, by the way, Halo, the campaign evolved.
I could see campaign evolved coming over for sure.
Yeah, I think that also that would be a really good announcement. Like, we're in an awesome spot right now, dude.
And then you can also bring in Hi-Fi Rush here as well, because it used to be an Xbox title. I could see all of these, and I could see one of these. I could see two of these.
Connor, if you give me Hi-Fi Rush physical Switch 2, I'm legitimately dropping everything, and I'm just gonna play one of my favorite games ever again on that thing. Where do I have it? 33rd greatest game of all time. Like, that game is. Game's unbelievable. Like, I really think back on my time with that game and the boss fights and the amazing left shark boss fight, the wolf boss fight, the final fight, the freaking there's a moment in this game that like it's supposed to be just like this heartwarming moment, and it's like the power of friendship type of moment. And like thinking about it makes me cry. Like it's that freaking good. Like I freaking love Hi-Fi Rush so much. So yeah, I would give it to me, and my heart is yours.
I would like to do a replay. I played it on stream. It's not the greatest way to play a game like that. You got to really lock in with the music and get into a flow state. If you're talking to chat, it's a little bit different though. That was before we really had anybody watching us.
It's really true. But then again, I did come and hang out with you for that last stream,
That's
and that
fair.
was really fun and following you and stuff like that.
But I would like to do a replay, and Switch 2 would be a great place to do that.
And also, Connor, here's the thing. Have I started Animal Well? No. But when I beat Animal Well and I do reclaim the championship belt here at Co-op 64, I'm making Brady play Hi-Fi Rush.
Nice.
I'm making him get to the rush, dude. It's going to be a lot of fun. So yeah, I would love that. Elden Ring. Where the hell's Elden Ring? Like, it's got to be here, right? Like, they got to have a presence here. Hey, Tarnished Edition, it runs now. That's the only reason it's not out. It doesn't run well. They don't want it to put out something that doesn't showcase the Switch well. But like, I think that's a game that will sell exceedingly well on the Switch when it does come out, if it does run properly. It's got to be here. It's got to have a date on it.
Do you want to double up on FromSoft, though?
We might not get Dustbloods.
Right. If we see Elden Ring earlier in the showcase, I'm going to assume that we're not seeing Dustbloods at the end.
Do you feel like we will have a one more thing moment here?
We usually do. The one more thing at the last partner showcase was Octopath Traveler 0. That's a major,
great point.
I mean, it's not as big as the Dustbloods, but that's a major third-party release.
Yeah, and
70-hour RPG. Like, this is a beefy release.
It's a great point, and also like reviewed pretty well too, and everything. And then
Greg
we also
Miller Game of the Year.
And that's crazy. But it was for a lot of people a big, exciting RPG release and everything. And so yeah, I would love to go and get more long, exciting announcements as that one more thing. But I just am like trying to lower my expectations. Partner showcases that normally don't got it like that, you know. But this is
usually a one surprise.
Yeah,
at the very least. It's just a matter of how big that surprise is.
I go back. There was a partner showcase I want to say that was, hey, Persona 3, 4, 5 are coming over to Switch back in 2022 summertime. I remember reacting to that. Yeah, so like there are exciting announcements. I just don't know if. The difference between Octopath and Dustbloods is already monumental in my opinion. They're both exciting announcements, but one is the next From Software project. 100%. You know, like that is a headliner on any showcase ever. That could close out the Game Awards and would be awesome, right? So I want to believe it, but I'm not fully there. It would be sick though. But Elden Ring I think could easily be there too. Call of Duty we touched on, like if not now, when? Also here's my call. It's going to be BO7. A lot of people are like, maybe they do BO6 to make it just more optimized. It's going to be BO7. What a shit Call of Duty to be your first Call of Duty. Right. If you are a Switch player, that blows. But play Warzone, because Warzone's still good. Like even the Warzone at any given moment is a fun time. It's not the best game ever, but it's a fun time. KH we already touched on. This is, in my opinion, the thing that could close out this direct more than anything else. Clair Obscure, Expedition 33, Game of the Year.
Game of the Year winner. Expedition 33.
Put it on the box, dude. Yeah. You put it on the box, definitive edition. It's got all the DLCs. It's got everything good to go, ready to rock immediately. Like, I think that if you want to talk about a great way to open the showcase and still have us be very excited, this would be a great moment. And like you said, with Red Dead, it's not maybe the showcase that Red Dead is, but Game of the Year winner, like all-timer video game right there. Also, I would play the shit out of this on a Switch, dude. Like this would be. I don't think I will ever play this game again if it's not on the go.
Yeah, it's so funny that you say that because there's so many games that are like that for me. For a great example is Final Fantasy VII Remake, where like I thought I was never playing that game ever again. No shot. I had played it 3 times, and I was like, and I had spent a lot of time doing everything in this game, and I'm like, I'm done. Like it's over. The journey is over, and now I'm so happy to be back into it. And I feel similarly about a lot of these games that we've talked about so far. So that's everything we have listed here.
Stellar Blade is the last one that they have.
I could see that. Yeah.
I feel like that's an odd one. I don't
get to run on Switch.
Yeah,
too, I imagine.
That's a very beefy game. Like it's a beautiful looking game already, and like to have the frames that you need to run an action game like that. I think of like the Raven fight in that game, and it's like, whoa, like how the hell could? But once again, the Switch is the little engine that could, baby. Like this Switch 2 is way more powerful, I believe. And also the game card situation, the fact that like it sucks that these games aren't natively on there, but the fact that they're able to go and have that workaround basically to get these things to run miracle that it runs as well as it does.
Yeah, DLSS is a miracle. For all the
Yeah.
bad stuff around AI, that is the one major positive for me. That shit rules.
Yeah, that thing helps so freaking much.
Let me. Here's a. I don't know if you have a way you want to structure this, but I had this thought in my head of how we could spitball some games. We could just go major publisher by major publisher.
Sure. Yeah.
Capcom, Resident Evil 2, 3, 4.
Easily
remakes.
could be here. Monster
could
Hunter
be.
Wilds could be here.
Monster Hunter Wilds and World. I think World is more likely, personally.
I think Capcom wants to get like
Just get away from it.
they want to get on it, dude. They like I think
It already doesn't run well on PC and
you know
consoles.
what, Connor. Screw it, let's do it. Like I think that's got to be some of the mindset with where Capcom's at. Because I feel like these games are good to go in a lot of different ways. If you can get them just working well enough, you're printing money with that audience and everything, and especially with like Monster Hunter Story 3, like that could, by the way, easily be here. Do we have a date on that yet?
I thought we did.
We might. I could easily see that being here. Where you at?
Do we know Pragmata is coming to Switch 2?
Is it?
I think we know that.
Okay. Onimusha.
Onimusha possibly. I was thinking, what was it? Shoot, I'm blanking now.
Monster Hunter Stories 3, by the way, comes out March 13th, 2026. So we do have a date on that.
Oh, Dragon's Dogma 2. Potentially.
Ooh.
But that game was very CPU heavy, so even if they can pick up the slack with DLSS, it's not going to fix whatever performance issues they had on that.
I'm looking up is the Metal Gear Solid collection on Switch. Metal Gear Solid it is
The
on
first
Switch. Yeah,
collection. You could see potentially Delta.
the Delta would be a good pull there. Silent Hill 2 remake, Silent Hill
Yeah.
F. F feels a little bit soon.
Is Silent Hill 2 on Xbox now? I thought there was a ton of rumors about this. Bless you.
Thank you. I do not have that in front of me. Any PlayStation stuff? PlayStation first party? I don't think anything's coming over. Like I'm thinking like Helldivers, you know?
Helldivers maybe.
Like that, something like that
I was
that's
thinking
already on Xbox.
Marathon, which is
Yeah,
going to be multi-platform.
Doubt if they can get that thing day and date, I think that both would say yes, sort of deal. Like, why would you not want that of your PlayStation and Bungie?
I think if it doesn't look great on that console, though, you don't want that bad press out the gate. You can put out a lesser version like six months later,
after,
and then it's like, well, we already have the good version over here, and if people are enjoying it, then it's like whatever. We at least have an option to play it over here, even if it looks poor, looks not great.
Xbox is interesting. Forza Horizon 6 and Fable, I think, are two conversations.
Forza Horizon 5 port.
Yeah, I think that like easily could happen. I think that, when I'm right now, I'm talking about like what's something that like would get the people going, and it's like if you can pull off Forza Horizon 6, there's no way it's gonna run the best over there. But it's like I don't know. This thing is apparently gonna run on a Series S. Like Forza Horizon 6 will run on a Series S, and so
they already said Baldur's Gate 3 is not coming.
Yeah, I think that. How do you not get BG3 with the mouse controls over there? That's crazy. Yeah.
Square. We already talked Kingdom Hearts. Final Fantasy 16, is that possible? I don't think it is. It runs not great on base PS5 already.
I think that there's a chance that they say screw it and do it.
Yeah. They're trying to get those games off of PlayStation 5 into as many platforms as possible. We have 16 on Xbox, yes.
Yeah, right. I think that they're at the point where these games aren't making as much money as they want them to. Right. Every single time one of these games comes out for Final Fantasy, or it feels like even Kingdom Hearts, or just anything, it's always, it didn't perform as well as we wanted to. It's like, what are you talking about? Like, this was a needle mover. Like people were... There was enough excitement for FF7 Rebirth. It's like, how do you not have that work?
Speaking of remake and Rebirth and getting these games out to more people, Sakaguchi said that this year is all about expanding the Final Fantasy VII brand to more people. Yeah. And I think that lends a lot of credence to the fact that we will see Rebirth on Switch 2 this year and Xbox.
I think that it's going to come this fall.
Yeah.
I think that there's a chance it comes this fall to to Nintendo Switch 2, and maybe not even to Xbox. I think the priority for that team right now is getting it on Switch 2 the way that the response has been for it on Switch already for a remake. What else could there even be, dude?
We've already done FromSoft, Dark Souls 3. You could go back into the catalog and do Dark Souls 2 and 3.
Doom the Dark Ages, I mentioned at the start of the show. Doom the Dark Ages, I think, is totally on the board.
Oh, yeah, and the other two came to Switch 1.
Yeah, exactly. That's. I think that they have a great relationship with Bethesda already. So, rock and roll. Same with Indiana Jones, we talked about it a little bit.
Battlefield 6, maybe.
That's too intensive.
So
That's got to be too intensive. Sports games, just in general, I think that we might see more and more sports games heading over there. Like even like I don't know if it's WWE's on there yet, but WWE 2K could make its way.
Ubisoft, we could possibly see the Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag remake shown here, but I feel like since they went back to the drawing board on that and pushed it, I feel like I don't know if the plan of shadow dropping it has changed now. You want to market it and then like have it released later.
You want to know where we see that, Connor?
Where?
Future proofing the Where Do We See It podcast. Xbox showcase, third game in that showcase. Oh. Xbox has a great relationship. That's where Dragon Age the Veilguard was for that 2024 showcase, or 2024 showcase. They had like two first party things, and then they threw in Dragon Age the Veilguard as that like, hey, third party, but it's exciting and it plays best here and all that stuff. They got a good relationship with Ubisoft. I could easily see that at a Xbox thing.
Circling back to Konami, Silent Hill F.
Yeah.
Is that announced?
I know it's not. No, I think that could easily be there.
Yeah.
And then I'm just trying to literally like go through the Rolodex of logos in my brain for
Control native port.
Ooh, Alan Wake 2.
Yeah.
Like if you can get these Remedy games that apparently don't sell the best already, like get them everywhere, dude. And I think Switch would be a great place for it. Like if you can get Alan Wake 2 running on a Switch 2, which would be a miracle. I was talking to a friend recently about like just like how beautiful video games are nowadays, and like I showed Alan Wake 2. Like that was one of the first ones I pulled up. So if you can make that run, rock and roll. Is there anything else?
No, I think we hit just about every major game we possibly could there.
Then let's move on to another Nintendo story headline. Nintendo reveals more Tomodachi Life Living the Dream info, including its release date. This is Chris Scullion over at VGC. Quote, the information was shared during a 20-minute Nintendo Direct dedicated entirely to the game. The game will release on Nintendo Switch on April 16th. There will be no specific Switch 2 edition of the game, but of course it will be compatible on the console. As in previous entries in the series, Tomodachi Life Living the Dream lets players add Mii characters to a town and help them live their lives there. Players can create their own Mii characters from scratch using an enhanced version of the Mii creator seen on a recent Nintendo console, featuring more facial parts than before. They can also use face paints to draw on Mii's face and make them look more unusual in the Direct. Nintendo showed a bear-like character. That's wild. End quote. I do want to pull in Mega's comment from the first story. It just has a little bridge. When discussing the Partner Direct, they said, I really hope it's not actually a Partner Direct. We really need some info, on my opinion, on what the rest of Nintendo users looks like. And I'd be shocked that they don't do anything else coming out this year that's first party. This is what they're doing. The strategy right now is some smaller game directs. We've seen that with a lot of the titles that we're getting already. I would not be shocked if we get a Yoshi Direct. I would not be shocked if we get a Rhythm Heaven Direct.
Yeah.
I think that's what we're doing for the first 6 months. And so am I with you, Mega? 100%. Would I much prefer a major direct? Yeah. But I really think that right now, like, I am not expecting to see a Nate the Hate or a Jeff Grubb tweet anytime soon be like, Direct's coming right around the corner. I think that this is it. And this is the strategy. And Tomodachi Life Direct was the first domino to drop. I was like, why are we doing this and not having this part of the major direct? The answer is because there's not a major direct.
Right.
Can you imagine if it's not a partner direct and Nate the Hate was wrong? I would bet almost anything that Nate the Hate's not wrong. Like he would not put his leak on the line, to go and be like, no, it's actually a partner direct. He would have just stayed ambiguous if he did not know. But I'm like, this is going to be the strategy for Nintendo's first 6, and
yeah,
we'll see you in June.
As I said earlier, I want more confidence about 2026 and Nintendo of what the heavy hitters are. And luckily we can get one from this potentially. But like, there is just no need to show stuff that's coming out in the fall when you're going to do a direct in the summer, probably.
By the way, you do June E3 week. They still love E3 week, like around that first week of June, everything. You do it during E3 week. Hey, Fire Emblem? Yeah, it is summer. It's August. And that kind of blows. And then guess what? Luigi's Mansion in October. And then November you have Pokemon. And that is the rest of your year. And Dustbloods is somewhere within there. That's your year. And you have Rhythm Heaven, and you have Tomodachi Life, and you have Yoshi. And I think that is a good year. But
I do not think they are in a position to just have a good year.
Dustbloods?
I'm saying they should be going for a great year. Pedal to the metal. They are the fastest selling console of all time. You want to keep that momentum going. You do not do that with Dust Bloods, Luigi's Mansion, and Pokemon.
What if Dust Bloods is a Game of the Year nominee?
I think that it captures some of the hardcore, but there are people in the hardcore gaming space that are like, never Nintendo. I do not give a shit, and it's also not. It's also an experiment, though. It's not even.
I'm calling bullshit on that. I'm calling bullshit on that. There are people that right now are saying, yeah, I'm not going to do that, and then Dust Bloods is going to come out, and if that thing has a 90+ on Metacritic, guess what? There's From Software fans that are going to say fine. And I think
there's also From Software fans that are single player only. From Soft fans.
That's true.
They don't really have that much interest in something like Elden Ring Night Rain, and they look at the Dust Bloods, and that's PvP VE, and they're like, this is weird and different, and it's not for me.
Yeah, I agree with that in the first place. But what I'm saying is, you have Pokemon to be your seller, your big seller around holiday season. Also, Tomodachi, like just talking about it being a direct in the first place. Pokemon Presents is in a month. And that is going to announce the next Pokemon game. That's your big Nintendo announcement for this quarter. Like, we are getting a new announcement that for arguably the biggest game that they have of their arsenal, that's not Mario Kart and not Animal Crossing when it comes to sales. But Pokemon, it sells a shit ton. It sells so much.
And just for the record, I think your plan for this year of Dust Bloods, Fire Emblem, Luigi's Mansion, Pokemon, that's a very, very good year. But I think they're in a position right now where they want to send this thing to the fucking moon. Yeah, and if you want to do that, you slot in 3D Mario instead of Luigi's Mansion.
Mario, yeah.
Bring out the man with the stash.
Yeah, that red cap will do work. I agree, because I think that there's a 0% chance we get out of this year without an announcement of Mario or an announcement of Zelda. I also wouldn't be shocked if this June we're watching this direct and we get. Like I said, I'm not convinced Dust Bloods is there. You get Dust Bloods, and you get the announcement of Luigi's Mansion, and you get Fire Emblem with the date, and then you also get 2D Zelda somewhere in there.
I was going to say Ocarina of Time remake.
Yeah,
I think that's a great year.
Yeah, it will, because you need Zelda, you need Mario, and that's how you get through some of this stuff.
It's the first full year of this console, man. And they're riding off a lot of goodwill for Switch 1. I think that's why they are in the position they are right now. I do not think they're in the position they are because of Mario Kart World being a little bit middling and Donkey Kong Bonanza, which I obviously personally love to bits, but there are plenty of people who do not like that game, who gave it a fair shot. And then Metroid Prime 4 being lackluster and disappointing for many people. Hardcore fans specifically do not seem to like that game very much. Kirby Air Riders being a niche title. Like, we're talking about games that I'm interested in, games that I played and enjoyed, but I don't think the gaming community as a whole is looking at the year Switch 2 just had in its first year and being like, those games are fucking fantastic. That is a excellent catalog. And they rode that to being the highest selling console of all time. That is 95% goodwill from Switch 1.
You can't keep up with that cadence. And I do disagree that it's 100% goodwill off Switch 1. I do think that people were excited about new Mario Kart.
And I think that only goes far enough. You need to start backing it up with really excellent system sellers. And I think Dust Bloods is probably one of those. I do not think Luigi's Mansion is one. I think that Pokemon Gen 11 is going to be a huge system seller for the casual audience. But I think Mario captures both the casual and the hardcore and gets people to spring finally for Switch 2.
I understand what you're saying. I think that Nintendo cares more about the console. You want two things with a console. You want to sell a shit ton, and you want it to be well regarded as like a very good console. The way you do that is you put out the Dust Bloods and it's a 90+ Metacritic. You put out Fire Emblem and it's a 90+ Metacritic, and then you put out Pokemon and you make a filth ton of cash. Like and then you cover your bases. Boom. Well, at that point, if you're playing 2 Game of the Year nominees and you're making a shit ton of money on it,
there is no shot that we get through the first year and a half of the Nintendo Switch 2 without a Mario game, excluding Mario Tennis Aces or FIFA or whatever it is.
Why are we switching the tunes so much? And I by the way, I'm not saying that this is all. We had this definitive thought process with this, but the thought does still carry that a lot of people would look at Donkey Kong Bonanza and say, that's the Mario game. And I just
you can't convince people that it is. Like, it's not going to happen.
I understand.
Donkey Kong is about 1/16th as popular as Mario. It's just the truth.
I 100% agree.
Even though Donkey Kong Bonanza is a better game than Mario Odyssey, it does not matter.
I understand what you're saying, dude. But like, you know, what if they just don't have the bandwidth where a Mario game is coming out, because this was originally supposed to be a Mario game and then it worked better as a Donkey Kong game and then they went from there. It's like, what do you want from them?
It just doesn't count in the same in people's minds.
I get it that it's not as a much of a system seller. It is not for a lot of people. I think that if that game was called, if Mario was on Donkey Kong's back instead of Pauline and they called it Mario and Donkey Kong Bonanza, it would sell a shit ton more copies. Duh. Like, am I wrong?
Why didn't they do that?
Because Pauline and Donkey Kong have a great relationship.
Baby Mario,
you know what I'm saying?
Back, like, it's perfect.
Like
Nick,
Nintendo, hire him. Come on, I'm right here. Anyways,
give this man some money.
That one was free. Next one, not so much. So, but like, you know what I'm saying? I get what you are saying. I am telling you that if they don't have it, they don't have it. It's almost like you are the kid going up to the Christmas tree, awaiting the new baseball bat, but it just might not be there, dude. Like, it just might not be there. And at that point, whose fault is it? Is it the people that didn't get you the baseball bat? Or is it you for expecting it when they told you, hey, you got the baseball bat last year. The baseball bat what you got, that was the big toy last year.
And, well, if it's not the baseball bat, then it better be the baseball glove, and it's Ocarina of Time remake.
Once again, I do our social clipping. Nick, clip that out. That's a great line in there. You know what I'm saying, though? I agree that you do need Zelda or you do need Mario. I think that the way you bridge the gap, 2D Mario, and like I said, it could be a remake of some sort or it could be something new. 2D Mario.
Zelda?
Oh, sorry, 2D Zelda. Thank you so much.
Or it could be Mario Maker.
Yeah, I think Mario Maker's on the table. The reason I don't think it's Mario Maker.
Yeah, I also don't think it's nearly the needle mover that 3D Mario or even like a mainline 2D Mario Wonder situation is.
If it was Mario Maker, it would have been the September Direct during Mario's presentation. I firmly believe that at this point.
That's a good point.
Like what are you gaining? Like, you want this massive year for Mario and this massive announcement and everything. Like, you do Mario Tennis, you do all these other announcements. If you have Mario Maker 3 within the next year, put a freaking logo on it and say 2026, and that's it. Like, you could totally get away with that and have the hype still there. But I don't think that they have it. And that goes back to my statement of, I think that this year we will see 3D Mario or we will see a teaser for 3D Zelda. You got to make sure that the stock people are excited about the future of this console.
Also, you could do fiscal year 26, 27.
I have it. What did I say? March or May in 27 is when I have 3D Mario. I think that we're going to see this thing. I think we see it in September, though, and I think it's the year after. And I know that's upsetting for people, but we're going to get through. We're going to get through this June Direct together. Okay, we'll be able to do it.
I can't wait for that June Direct, man.
That's going to hit like a drug.
Because even like awesome. I said, even if we got a full Direct here, they just need to start lining up the dominoes with stuff that's already been announced.
Yeah, for me at this point, my excitement level for this future of Nintendo, it's still palpable. Like, the fact that we're giving a shit about a partner direct, we went an hour on a partner direct.
Yeah,
that is crazy.
To be fair, we spent like 10 minutes at the start talking about Drake May and
go Pats, baby, go Pats. But yeah. That's insane, and it's just because there's a lot of gas and there's a lot of conversation with that. By the way, I did listen to the entire Nate the Hate podcast before it was announced to be a partner direct. I did find it very fascinating that they started with third-party discussion before they went first-party. Like, I had it in the back of my brain. I'm like, what if it is a partner direct? And then it was a partner direct.
And I do want to say, for anybody disappointed that this is a partner direct and you're not getting what you're looking for from Nintendo, you got PlayStation the week after with a State of Play to look forward to as well.
Yeah, by the way, next week, State of Play predictions on this podcast.
Can't wait.
Sorry that it's.
We are seeing Final Fantasy VII Remake at that State of Play.
If we are,
I swear to God,
Connor,
they better give it to me.
We are, we need to have a serious conversation about bonus pod in the next 2 weeks to see if it's the Final Fantasy podcast. Because I think it's time.
Yeah,
I want to have that conversation before it happens about the beginning of the end of the most important franchise. in my life in one of the most important franchises in your life.
Yeah.
And it's not the Final Fantasy 7.
I don't think there's anything in this world that you and I love other than like people in our lives, like our parents and our and for me, my wife. And of course, my cats as well. I don't think there's anything that we
Brady.
love more as a tandem than Final Fantasy 7 remake, the trilogy. I didn't know I loved it as much as I do until this replay. Shit's special, man. I straight up feel bad for people who don't like this shit as much as I do. I'm sorry for you. I wish you could feel this way about this shit, man. Like, you're missing out.
It's pretty gas. Tomodachi Life. I watched this entire presentation.
Sell me on it, Nick.
I can't. It's weird.
I don't think this is for me. I'm going to be perfectly honest.
I don't think it's for me either. I think that there's a good chance if. What day is that release?
I do see the vision though. Like I get why people are into this.
Continue to filibuster as I go and pull up what day April 16th is. April 16th this year
Friday is my guess.
Thursday.
They release
for
on weird
Tuesdays.
days.
There is a really good chance that I talk about it on CGNC the 3 days after, and it's, hey, here's my impressions. I played 7 hours of this in the past 3 days, but I'm not going to go all in on Tomodachi Life after that presentation.
I do fear that this is something that I could pick up and be like, oh, I'm going to give it a little bit of a go. Maybe
Connor,
I'll probably not like this.
We're not buying 2 copies of this game. I will not allow it.
But I give a little bit of a go, and then I stumble into it and just fall in love. There's a chance.
Okay, maybe we do get 2 copies then. If there's a,
I don't really even fully understand what it is, though. Can you explain it to me?
It is a life sim game. So what you're going to do is you're going to make a me, and then you're going to put him in a house that you help design and stuff like that.
The Sims.
It's Sims, but it's me's, and it's like you can go and have people date. You can have, it's The Sims, but it's like a little bit more humorous and a little bit less realistic.
Do you create one character? Or do you create
I think you create multiple characters, and then they all interact. And this is the situation where it's like you can have you interact with Laura, and you can make your cats into me's and stuff like that, and like all that stuff. And you can put 8 me's in one house and like have them party and stuff like that. So it is just that social interaction, people being goofy, having fun with it. The writing's off the walls. There's a great moment in the presentation where like this one person, the main character that they introduce, goes and asks out another person, and then they reject them, and then like somebody else comes over and comforts the main character, and then they fall in love with them. But then they go and like getting ready to confess their love to that person, and all of a sudden like they're on the Ferris wheel, they confess it, and then like he's about to answer, and then like another me pops in like over the shoulder, is like, I also love you, and then underneath where the me character is sitting, another person is laying down sideways and goes, I also love you. And so it's a 3-person decision, and he's like, I choose you, and it's not the main character, and it's really funny.
Yeah.
They get married, and like it's ridiculous, off the wall writing. The ways that the Mii's talk are kind of terrifying. Like, it's a lot of fun though. I think that this will capture an audience. It will not be a system seller. Also, no Switch 2, which I'm going to bring in Snake here. I think it's weird that Tomodachi Life doesn't have a Switch 2 version. With them focusing on the drawing and island expansion customization in the Direct, it feels weird there isn't a Switch 2 version to add mouse controls that would fit perfectly. Yeah, 100%. Like, I understand them not wanting to do a Switch 2 version with the aspect that this game was never in development for Switch 2.
And I also really, what benefits other than the mouse controls are you really going to see? Like,
you're not getting
this
frames.
Isn't a visual powerhouse by any means.
You're not getting frames. Like, you're not going to get like you don't need a frame. Exactly. You don't need a frame increase for Tomodachi Life. Yeah, I think that it's a very interesting discussion. But Tomodachi Life, I'm a little bit out on your
strong maybe.
Hey, we're getting Connor in. We're going to get him in. The other part of this, and I thought about this, I think this could be a fun stream. Like, I think this could be a fun Monday stream. And we all sit on the couch, we make a bunch of me's, we go and see what they do.
Smash them together.
How fast can I romance Brady? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's just the stupid fun stuff that you can have playing this game with others. I do think that there is credence to that too. So I'm curious to see where it lands. But yeah, I kind of want there to be a clear divide of like Switch 1 and Switch 2 games, and not having a Switch 2 version of this. Like, I think that this is one of the rare occurrences, Connor, where I can say Tomodachi Life, even though the Switch 2 is out, that is a Switch 1 game. It legitimately is just a Switch 1 game. Final headline, because we have to go and play Rock Band. Headline, Grand Theft Auto 6 may not have a physical version on day one to avoid leaks, reports claims. This is Chris Going at VGC. Quote, Take-Two and Rockstar may hold back the release of the physical version of Grand Theft Auto 6 to avoid spoilers. That is according to Polish site ppe.pl, whose insider Grasizardi previously corrected leaked information on the release date of Oblivion Remastered physical copies, the Switch 2 port of Sonic Racing Crossworlds, and the PS5 port of Microsoft Flight Simulator. According to Grasizardi, who PPEL says handhelds of physical game sales in Europe, Take-Two still has no plans for physical editions of the game, at least at release. While it appears inevitable that the game will get a physical release, the report claims that it may appear on consoles digitally first, with a physical version following later. This could only be a few weeks after release or as far back as 2027. End quote. Connor, GTA physical release. Is this going to affect the sales of GTA 6?
No.
I think I completely agree. Yeah. I think that like the most hardcore person for all physicals would just be like, I'm getting it digital and I'll buy the physical down the line.
I do think if people dig their heels in and say, no, I'm not buying it until there's a physical, like that's a drop in the bucket for Rockstar and GTA. Drop. Like they don't give a shit about that.
Also, they're going to save a ton of money by not printing as many games and stuff like that. I know it's all cheap relatively to a game that's going to sell $1 billion on day one. I think the more interesting aspect of this is they're trying to avoid leaks. I'm going to put my foot in the ground. I'm going to put a bet on this. If you want to, or if you're on the other side of it, I'll donut bet you. There's not going to be reviews for this game. There's not going to be reviews for this game.
Yeah, maybe.
The only way that you do it is you fly people out and let them play it and write their review at Rockstar.
Yeah.
There's not going to be reviews for this game.
I do feel like they're being overly cautious with good reason. I think the draw for even any press to have their hands on this game and have the opportunity to leak even tidbits of information about this game would be catastrophic for them, and it's just too big of a game to like let just random people get their hands on it and not like
my big thing is IGN, biggest review site in the world, like they're the goats at that, right? Like what do you somebody from IGN, they get a copy of it, they live in some place, they have the review copy and everything, like I don't care what NDA you signed, having something in your home is always just like a question mark, right? Like there's just no way, and maybe it is, hey, they have to play it at the IGN office and everything, but it's just like, how easy is it for somebody who's sweeping the floor to the IGN office to take a quick photo and be like, let's blast this on the internet? Like there's this, and once again, I don't think that that's going to happen. We're talking about the most professional people in the entire world, whether it's IGN or anyone that would even have access to review this game. We're talking about a handful of press and media, like less than 5 people. There will be less than 5 reviews if there are reviews. Maybe 6.
No, I disagree with that. I think that if you're going to do reviews, you're going to do a proper review cycle, send it out to the normal people who would get codes.
I just don't know. And if that's the case, I just don't see them doing it. I just don't see it unless you're flying people in.
My big pushback, though, also is that, like, is the story of this game really something that you cannot have get spoiled?
They don't want leaks? Like, and I do think that by the way,
GTA just has never been like about the story.
We live in a post Red Dead Redemption 2 world, dude. That is the reason that Red Dead Redemption 2 is what it is the story. Like, I firmly believe that.
And I think that if they're going to take GTA to the next level, if they can tell a story on the caliber of Red Dead Redemption 2, that's how you do it. Because you already know it's going to control exactly the same. GTA 5, you're going to be tapping X to run. The gunplay is not going to feel great, but it's going to be good enough. But the world and the scale of everything is going to be astronomical and exceedingly impressive. But if you want to draw somebody like me in and have it be topping my game of the year list at the end of the year, it's got to be from the story. That's the big needle mover.
Thank you so much for being a big needle mover over on patreon.com/Cope64. You keep the light to mics on here at Cope64, especially if you're over at the highest tier. You get your name read at the end of each and every podcast we do here. Amazing members like Anthony C,
Jake,
Nights Echoes,
Caleb B,
J Bubba,
Squidalicious,
Silent Hills X,
Blake Has a Dog,
Cash R,
Chaboy Jake,
Cood,
Jakey P,
Paige E,
Pigeon Power,
Tyler,
Sir Shellis,
Raincoat,
Ooh, Gracie.
Chuzar,
MG Dunbar.
Mr. Munchies,
Farmer Spud.
Rocket Tater,
Nofi.
Proto Dan,
The Dankest Mike.
Swampy Bits,
Tristan C.
Sconty C,
Aloha Alley.
Scooterman,
Dinkelberg Rules.
Centuro,
Hook'em Horns.
Go Nash,
Neutral Sphere.
Eli, the Unusual,
The Neutron Style.
Easton C,
Kingdom Hearts Rules.
Stooby Dooby Dooba,
Crispy.
DJ Zach B,
Uli.
Jacob D,
Big Mac.
Metal, Nate,
The Patty Cake.
Bear Pog,
Cowboy Jesus.
Mega,
Yogi.
Damn,
Holden M.
Shane O'Mac,
Brock.
Voodoo.
Milky Sins.
I know you waking around on the floor. Sorry. Reggie Ranks.
Alex the Golden.
Andrew H.
I have no idea what you just did. What was that?
It's Milky Chance's song. You know, the dance like this before we don't talk about it.
Yeah,
you know that whole
I know
thing.
that song.
Great. Every single time I see Milky Sins, I think about that.
Nathan R.
Master Days.
Cannon Fodder Games.
JMAP P3. Oh, Only One Rufus.
Snake.
Ali Benali.
Michael.
And Kingdom Hearts Sucks. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of the Casual Gaming News Conversation. We will see you in the next one. Peace out.